work, we are constantly solving problems. However, individually, we often look at problems through the same lens every time. Working with a team, we have the opportunity to see the issue through a variety of lenses if we're able to hear each other's perspectives. Different personality types can bring radically different views to the same project. For example, sensors, who prioritize facts and past experiences, will be quick to see what has worked before and value taking the reliable path forward. Intuitives, who prioritize ideas and future trends, will be quick to see the value of taking a new approach. Without a framework to understand our differing personalities, it can be easy for intuitives to dismiss the value of past experience and for sensors to dismiss unexpected approaches. And the best solutions really are the ones that account for a variety of perspectives and incorporate them in a way that is elegant and simple. This is one of the reasons I really appreciate the Zig Zag model. It uses our personality preferences as a framework for problem solving, and it works in many situations. The process takes you through the 4 core lenses and helps people see the value in taking extra time to understand each lens. You can use this model by yourself or as a group, but do try and pair up with someone who doesn't share your preferences to get the most out of it. And you don't have to complete the steps in order, but just don't skip or rush through any of them. And you can apply this process to many different problems, just adapt the prompt questions for each. So let's begin. Step 1, what are the facts? Starting with sensing, we want to understand the current situation and what we know right now based on facts and past experience. Avoid jumping to conclusions or reading between the lines, and be on the lookout for facts that are actually assumptions or expectations. Questions to ask include, what's the current situation? What do we know for sure? What facts or data is verifiable? Where have we seen this before? What has worked in the past? What steps have already been taken? What hasn't worked? What resources do we have? Step 2, what are our options? Next is intuition. When we focus on intuition, we are looking for options, alternatives, future trends, and predictions. Allow everyone to brainstorm freely and make space for random ideas, not just realistic ones. Questions to ask include, what can we interpret from the facts? What haven't we tried before? What's our hunch about this? What might happen in the future if nothing changes? What trends are we seeing? What if time and money were no object? What alternatives exist? Step 3, what is logical? Then we move on to thinking, aiming to analyze each of the options against the facts and other principles to see what stands out. Aim to be logical and objective, focusing on satisfying a clear set of criteria or principles. Questions to ask include, what are the pros and cons of each option? What are the costs of each, not just the financial ones? What criteria need to be satisfied? What are the logical consequences of each option? What other objective factors need to be considered? Step 4, how does this impact people? Finally, we use feeling to consider how each option will affect people personally, what role they'll play in implementing it, how it will make them feel, and how it will impact their lives. That includes the teams as well as any other employees, customers, and the community. Here you're using subjective criteria like feelings, values, and personal likes and dislikes. Questions to ask include, who is impacted by this? How will each group be impacted? What do I like and dislike about each option? How will others react? How does it align with my values? How does it align with the organization's values? Is this something I can commit to? And who will commit to delivering the solution? Once complete, you'll have a much fuller picture of the situation, but let's not leave out the other 4 preferences. Use extroversion to talk through your findings with other people, and introversion to reflect on what you discussed and learnt. Use perceiving to stay open to new information and not jump to conclusions or move into planning too quickly. Then, once a path has been agreed, use judging to create a plan, a deadline, and start implementing. So that's the Zig Zag model. It's pretty easy to make this part of your team meetings and team processes. To learn more about using personality type with your team, go to truity.com/Truity at work.